Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together right now for my man, Mr. Adam and Miss Katrina.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the Night of Excellence and celebration of Black History Month. This is the first of what we hope to be an annual event, and I am so excited to see you all here. This event helps us express our shared value for making everyone feel seen, heard, and valued. And it is an excellent example of what we can do when we put our hands together. Together, the offices of campus activities, give them a round of applause, the College of Arts and Sciences, even though you're there, experiential learning, there's Brother Justice, admissions, UPIKE, spiritual life, and yes, a touch from the President's office. These offices have all contributed to make this evening possible. If you're here from those offices, would you please stand up?
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Okay. And thank you, Brother Churchill, for showing up, because I was sure he was going to call you out by myself. Okay. Brother Churchill, will you please stand up? Let us all see. Hey, we're happy that you're here. Come on. Show the students who you are. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Black Student Union. We stopped, we reorganized, and I have to tell you that I'm so excited. We had 5 meetings and we had 99 people show up. I want to let you know that we see you, we hear you, and we value you. And I, along with the UPIKE family, is looking forward to watching you grow. And now, can you please help me welcome a wonderful individual? Let me first say, hello, Adam.
Hello.
I didn't know you were going to come up. I'm sorry. So help me welcome a wonderful individual who will do our invocation. This man is awesome, and he has been the lone advisor of the Black Student Union for many years, and he has graciously allowed me to partner with him. Rob didn't realize we were old. I had to tell him we were old. I told him we had to move out the way for the young folk. But Rob has graciously given me space to partner with him. He has done a wonderful job, and he continues to support us. And I just want to introduce the Dr. Robert Busick.
Don't you all agree with me? Miss Katrina around us all the time. She's a perfect type person, so thank you. Anyways, I think tonight about the Lane family and others who are our first Black students on campus and how amazing they'd be overwhelmed tonight, right? Just overwhelmed by the beauty and the excellence of tonight. And it's just the beginning. So let's take a moment and pray. Oh God, thank you. Thanks for the gift of beauty and love and justice and truth. Thank you for the gift of diversity, all shapes, sizes, colors, languages. I think tonight, Lord, of people gathered around your throne from every tribe, tongue, nation, celebrating you, and because you just love diversity. You love the way that you have formed us and made us. And I thank you for the way that we cannot see the truth unless we're together. So thank you, Lord, for bringing us together. Thanks for the gift and talent of all those who participated tonight. We know those talents are from you, so help us to have eyes that are open, ears that are listening, and hearts to be changed. But especially tonight, Lord, we are mindful of our brothers and sisters around the globe in Ukraine, for the city of Kiev, for every town, city, and person tonight who is under threat, the lives that are being lost. We pray that you would bring peace, that you would radically stop the Russian intrusion and invasion, and that you would bring peace. So God, tonight, for all of our brothers and sisters there, we ask that you would intervene in a dramatic way. And tonight, we commit all this to you in the name of Christ. Amen.
Amen.
And in saying that, I know that we have a gift, a small act of partnership. We have faculty and staff members who are from Ukraine, and I know this is a time where our words can't do anything to even to begin to explore the depths of emotions that are going on, but we want to say that we love you, we are with you, and we partner with you. So would you come forward now and receive the gift, please? Yeah.
Thank you. Daria and Angelica, we stand with you. At this time, we will have members from the Black Student Union to come up to have words.
How y'all doing? My name is Cam Hadaway. For y'all that don't know me, I am the BSU president. It's great to see the turnout tonight. It's kind of making me a little bit happy. I only asked for one thing, is for people to pull up to this. I didn't care really about much of, I don't want to say I didn't care about the other events, but this one really meant something to me. So to see all the faces, the different faces that are here, I really appreciate y'all. So what me and Miracle up here to do, we want to give y'all a little bit of a disclaimer a little bit about the poetry that you'll be hearing tonight. Just want to open up hearts and minds, make sure everybody receives everything correctly, you know. So to start with that. Tonight we have invited a group of poets, collectively known as the Black Greek Poets, to read some of their work for you. But before we begin, I would like to remind you of a few things. Poetry is complex. If you came tonight hoping for someone to read verses in which the last word of every phrase rhymes, you will be disappointed. Sometimes, usually, poetry does not rhyme. Poetry is topical. If you came tonight hoping to hear one of Shakespeare's sonnets or something by one of the Bronx sisters, tugging at your heartstrings or describing lost love, you will probably be disappointed. Sometimes poetry speaks of those things, but more often it is lived, gritty, and oh so topical. Poetry is sometimes edgy. If you came tonight hoping to listen to poetry that follows rules of grammar and complete sentences that soothe your soul, some of the poems might disappoint you. These works are designed to make you think. In thinking, sometimes you will be uncomfortable. That's okay. It is part of the experience.
Poetry can be twisty. If you came tonight hoping for the linear story with a clear beginning and end, or words that mean only one thing, again, you probably will be disappointed. Great poetry uses words to evoke emotions, sometimes unexpected emotions that can catch you unaware, like a jump scene in your favorite movie. Be ready. Poetry is art. Sometimes art is pretty, enclosed, and predictable. Sometimes poetry does that too. But tonight you will hear poetry that stirs you up, causes you to question important things, reminds you of home or the home you wish you had. As an art, poetry brings you to the edge and helps you to see and more importantly feel the other. If you want something else from poetry, slip away. No one will judge you. If on the other hand you want to grow, to learn, to be inspired, to be angered, to be relieved, to be challenged, and most of all, to experience an evening that combines all these things with creativity in context, then stay, listen, and interact with the art in the way it was designed to be displayed through the human voice.
And to end that, I want to read some of the things that poetry is supposed to do. And what we're touching on tonight are the 5 senses. So our touch is the impact of the poetry, how it hits you. Our sight, the vision, the lens that we see the world through. Use your voice, speak up, that's natural. Taste, our taste is our style, how we do certain things, how we wear certain things. And then the smell of success. So I just want y'all to keep that in the back of your minds while you listen to this poetry. Thank y'all.
So thank you, everybody. So now we will begin our show. I will be introducing all of the panelists and poets. Once I introduce them, they'll be on stage and to entertain you and hopefully give you some things to think about before you leave here today. First, the men of Kappa Alpha Psi. First, I would like to introduce Larry Forrester. He is the Senior Vice President of Commercial Lending at Ford Bank. Next is Dr. Roger Cleveland, Professor at the College of Education at UPIKE. Now I will introduce the Black Breed Poets. First, I would like to introduce Jeffrey Banks, also known as Big Homie. I would then like to introduce Dominic McDonald, also known as Nerd. I will also introduce Darius R. Parker, also known as Sir Harlem. And these gentlemen are representing Phi Beta Sigma. We also had another Black Greek poet who's representing Delta Sigma Theta, but unfortunately, due to the nor'easter, she was stuck and her plane got canceled. That Black Queen couldn't be here, but we were able to bring another Black Queen here to tell you some poetry and talk to you as well. Her name is Kim Miller. All right, so as Cam stated, our first topic is the sense of touch. So the first question is for all the panelists. All the panelists are going to give you their perspective on the sense of touch. So the question for all panelists is, what are Black Greek organizations and what is the significance of their impact on Black culture? What does being a member mean to you? Whoever wants to start first.
So what are Black Greek organizations, why it's important and its impact? We call it the Divine Nine. And I always tell people that we were brothers before we were frat brothers, before Phi Beta Sigma, Kappa Psi, Phi Alpha, Iota, make us Psi Phi. But what it means to me is that you have to understand how Black Greek organizations started. Those who started on predominantly white campuses could not engage and participate in a lot of activities. And so we started, Kappa Psi started in 1911 at Indiana University. And one of the primary reasons was because we could not engage. And what fraternities do, and sororities, is create a sense of belonging for people of color on campuses. It also creates cohesiveness And so even though we're in different organizations, we still bond together to support each other. I can go anywhere in this country and make a phone call, and it's a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. We support each other at any time. And so it's all about cohesiveness, a sense of belonging, and supporting each other, and also supporting and promoting African American history and culture.
I get my version of it. I am a UPIKE grad. It was Piper College when I attended, so I joined the bond of Kappa Alpha Psi as an alumni chapter in Lexington in 2013. As my brother here mentioned, I don't want to repeat the same things that he did, but what it meant for me was more about a different type of bond, the brotherhood, not just the fraternity that we are in, but also the other fraternities that are out there, the Divine Nine and sororities as well. But just how I look at it, the relationships that you build, whether it's inside, your area or expertise, those relationships that you will build here in school right now will go on for years. But when you get in that professional level, or whatever you decide to do, that relationship is going to always be there. And the thing that pulls you back together a lot of times is, your fraternity brothers or sororities, sisters. So when we looking at that, to me, I felt like, why not be a part of something that's positive? All of us give back to the community. That's part of our duties. We give back to those that cannot give back for themselves, can't help themselves to a certain extent. But we give time, we give effort, nothing's free. And we don't, some of us would say, we don't just wear our colors, we got to put in work. And putting in work is doing certain things. Like tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, my brother here is going to be working with some young students back in Lexington. But he's here today. Yesterday he was in Mississippi. So he's putting in work. But nobody's there to tell him, thank you, good job. He continues to do that because he knows that just one person having success and being able to get out of what they're in is going to be a benefit to him in the long run. So at the end of the day, we all win. And that's kind of how I look at it. So that's my point of view.
So greetings, good evening. Again, my name is Jeffrey Banks. I'm poetically known as Big Homie. I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So I'll give a little overview of all the organizations. We are collectively known as the Divine Nine. That's not a corporate name, but I guess there is an umbrella organization that was founded May 10th, 1930 called the National Pan Land Council. So all 9 member organizations I'll quickly go through. My Kappa Alpha Psi brother Greeks were talking about, that the first few organizations were founded on predominantly white campuses, and still they were excluded. So December 4th, 1906, Alpha Phi Alpha was founded at Cornell University. For January 5th, 1911, Kappa Alpha Psi was founded at Indiana University. For Omega Psi Phi, some of y'all saw the video from that, however, saw all the different organizations, purple and gold. They were founded November 17th, I believe, 1911 at Howard. We were founded January 9th, 1914 at Howard University. We are definitely an inclusive organization. We've been known as People's Fraternity. Also, the last fraternal organization, Phi Beta, Brown and Gold, they were founded September 19th, I believe, 1963 at Morgan State University. For the sororities, because I know some people get confused, because somebody even called me, there's a lasting impact, we can go into that later, but basically, long story short, somebody who, I'm going to mention sororities real quickly, but basically oh yeah, what's the name of your sorority? I'm like, sororities for girls, I appreciate you. January 15th, 1908, Alpha Kappa Alpha, pink and green. For January 13th, 1913, that's Delta Sigma Theta, crimson and cream, which is the same colors as Kappa Alpha Psi. For our sister organization, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, was founded January 16th, 1920. And you might have heard something if you're familiar with Greek life centennial. So approaching their 100th year this year, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority was founded November 12th. 1922 at Butler University in Indianapolis. So a lot of them have pretty much the same tenets, talking about brotherhood, sisterhood, scholarship, because you join them in collegiate higher institution places, and service. Our organization from Phi Beta Sigma, we're known for bigger, better business, social action, and also education, which ties into scholarship. So I know I said about phone, we'll talk more later.
Put some respect on my name.
All right, how y'all doing out there? My name is Dominic. I go by Nerd Poetically, and I'm also a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Something that I will touch on that hasn't been said today is Black Greek organizations are a lifetime commitment, right? And what that means is you'll hear people who have joined fraternities or sororities, and they'll say, well, that's what I did in college, right? But we have a pathway to where you can have the same brotherhood and sisterhood that you got in college on an alumni level. Right, so we have graduate chapters. We also have youth auxiliary groups and organizations. And I don't want to scare y'all, because like when I first thought about that, I was like, what, a lifetime commitment? Like that's for life, right? But it's really a lifetime cover. It's a lifetime protection. You know, you'll have brothers with you from the point you joined, from the point they put you in the ground. You know what I'm saying? And we have a special ceremony for when our brothers do cross into the Omega chapter, and that's just good to know. Like, you could not have gone to a chapter meeting, even though you should be financial, but you know, for 10 years. But you know, if you see a brother with the fraternity or sorority license plate, you know, they'll welcome you like you just met. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lifetime commitment, but it's also lifetime protection and lifetime cover, and that's special to me.
What's up, y'all? My name is Darius. I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and I'll try to be brief because I echo a lot of what the sentiments my brothers have said, but definitely talking about creating space, right? Our organizations was like, we're not welcome here, so we're going to make our own space, right? And I want to say that back to y'all as Black students, the Black Student Union. What does making space look like? What does Black excellence look like? And so when I met with Katrina, she talked about the dreams of what this program could be. We talk about Black excellence. Of course, Black group level organizations got to be a part of that because we represent that, right? We're professors, we're principals, we're directors, we're doctors, we're lawyers. We're a little bit of everything everywhere. So when we talking about creating that space where you feel like you don't belong, or creating that space where you feel like you're not seen or heard, that's what this is about. And so that's why I joined the bond, because I feel like there was a lot of places where I belong. That's why when Sigma found me, right? Because you know the works choose you. When Sigma found me, I was like, okay, this feels like home. This feels right. So I just want to add that to the conversation.
All right, we're going to move on to the next sense, which is let's talk about vision, the lens at which we see things through. DJ, will you cue that video?
Ask yourself why. These are the Black stories we've been shown. A narrow view that limits our understanding. But there's so much more to see. Let's widen the screen so we can widen our view.
All right. I promise y'all I'm going to try not to cry tonight, but some of these images are very powerful. And when I look at this collective of individuals, it just really, really excites me and it makes me very proud. So I'm going to move on to our next question, which is bias is a part of the human experience, be it intentional or unintentional. And as such, we see things through the lens of our experience. So as a Black person, you see things through the lens that may be different from how the world sees you. So to our Kappas here, how do you believe the world sees you as a Black man, and how is it different from how you see yourself?
Yeah. You can put me on the spot. I can only speak for experience, so I'm just going to tell you how I felt, how I see things. A lot of times, Caucasians or white people in a sense, but they see me as a Negro. I know that. I'm not going to lie. It's common sense, you know. I go in places, I'm the only one. It's obvious. And then when you're told, oh, I didn't realize you was the only one. I was like, how in the heck you didn't? Look at me. Everybody's in here don't have a tan except for me. But, you know, I know they see, because I played football and, you know, I guess still try to work out from time to time, they think you're aggressive. You know, my voice is deep, I'm from the South, so that's used against me too, and it has been used against me. But I was always raised that, number one, I don't change who I am just because of what somebody said. I know to do the right thing and the right reasons. There's a teacher back there, Miss Chandra. She was here when I was a freshman. She's still here. She's one of the reasons too that I stayed and graduated, because she treated us like human beings. And I'm not saying that because she's here, but I want her to know that too, because if something happens, she needs to know and get her flowers now. And if the students, when y'all see her, make sure you appreciate her, because she allowed herself to not see us in a lens that some of the other individuals here that saw us. So, but for me, how I combat that is continue to perform. You know I have to do 110 where my counterparts can do 60. And that's fine, I'll do 110. And that's perfectly fine. Because I go to sleep at night knowing I put in effort. I don't want nobody to give me anything. Because if I work for it, you can't take it away. That's why I stayed and graduated. That's why I went on and got my graduate degree as well. Because you can't take that away. And that's why I tell anybody in here, get that piece of paper, learn, keep knowledge, and basically surround yourself with individuals that are smarter than you. Now, that's not for all white folks either, to be honest. There's been a lot, as I mentioned in Chandra, that helped. There's a lot of individuals that wasn't of color, or that wasn't Black, that helped me too. So she's one of them. So I never want to pigeonhole anyone like some folks pigeonhole us because of what we look like, because of what our accents are. So it just allowed me to grow into the man that I am, and I'm still learning. I'm still trying to teach my boys right now, hey, things are going to happen in life that you're not going to understand, but you got to keep moving forward. Because until things change, and whenever that may happen, but you need to understand is keep moving forward and stay positive. So, and I'll pass it on to Brother Cleveland here.
Before you start, look, can we have Ms. Chandra stand up? This is someone you need to know. Stand up, Ms. Chandra. Thank you.
What's interesting that you asked that question, as Brother Forrest mentioned, that I was in Oxford, Mississippi yesterday at Ole Miss doing a training. And so I flew back to Atlanta to Lexington, so I was at the Atlanta airport. And there's a place called the Sky Club where you can kind of relax a little bit and chill versus sitting down with everybody else, right? So I was in this Sky Club, and I had an EKU sweatshirt on. And the guy asked me, he's like, yeah, I'm originally from Kentucky. You're an EKU? And I said, yes. He said, so how long you been coaching there? The way they see us. Now, I couldn't be the president. I couldn't be the provost. I had to be a coach, right? And even on my campus, if I wear a polo shirt or whatever, and I'm across campus in the summertime, the assumption is I'm a coach, not a professor. I'm a full professor on that campus in the college education. But I don't get upset, because, implicit bias is exactly what it is. It's unconscious. So I don't get totally upset. My approach is this: grace, civility, and accountability, right? I'm gonna give you some grace. We're gonna have a civil conversation, but I'm gonna come back and hold you accountable for your behavior and your actions, right? So people perceive me in different ways, but the issue is you don't let folks define you, right? Know from whence you came. If you know from whence you came, that you came from kings and queens, how people perceive you won't even bother you, right? Black Lives Matter is minimal. Black lives are intelligent, Black lives are strong, Black lives are knowledgeable, and Black lives are beautiful. Matter is just minimal. You feel it?
Yep.
That's why how people see me don't matter, because I know from whence I came.
All right, y'all can talk back. Y'all know what the culture is. Talk back to these brothers. Okay, I'm gonna turn to Sister Kim back here. How do you, as a woman, as a Black woman, how do you think the world sees you? How do you believe the world sees you as a Black woman, and how is it different from how you see yourself? And I don't know if you want to stand up.
I call it the assumption of unworthiness. I'm repeating. The assumption of unworthiness is automatically assumed that we got there because of affirmative action, or because you know somebody, or because fill in the blank. It's not because your resume got you through the door. It's not because you were the right one who was picked. So that is a lot of what I see. I'm the first African American poet laureate for PwC.
Come on.
And as such, I walked into rooms where people were very happy to see me, and people assumed, oh, did they need a Black one? No, my qualifications are excellent. And normally that would be the time, because we are so used to coming back and re-explaining ourselves and dropping part of our resume so you know who we are and you know what we've done. But what I did was, you got it crickets. The 5 people before me didn't explain their resume, and neither am I. I'm here because I deserve to be here. I got the job because I earned it. Any other questions, ask the previous poet laureate. So what we're going to stop doing as a people is re-explaining the explanation that doesn't need to be said. Stop.
Okay, all right. We're going to yield to Brother Darius Parker for his poem. Come on, brother.
Check. Check. There we go. All right, where that energy at? If y'all feel good, say yeah. If y'all feel real good, say yeah. If you're proud of who you are, say yeah. If you're proud to be alive, say yeah. When I say Black lives, y'all say matter. Black lives. Black lives. That was a little lukewarm BSU.
I need y'all to turn it up and hit the ceiling, all right? When I say black lives, y'all say matter, black lives. Black lives. When I say black lives, y'all say matter, black lives. Black lives. That's what I'm talking about. Period. Anytime, any point in time a poet gets up here and shares, y'all, there are a few things that y'all can do to affirm that poet, right? Understand that we're in a space like this, y'all think that, it's cool. Great. Nah, you don't want that. We want your energy, all right? So if you hear something that invigorates you, that has a thought, pops into your head like, damn, that poet was cold. Why don't you give him a snap? Let's see your snaps. And if it really hits your soul, with that with your snap. And if one of us say something that blow your hat off, I want you to, woo, go in, poet, let me hear you. Let me hear you, go on, poet. Wake up! Here, we're here tonight, we celebrate black excellence, so I need that energy. Cool? Thank you. This poem goes a little something like this. Wait, is there any babies in the room? If my queer had a color, it would be the color of spring, opening and closing like a blossoming idea. Queer is the color of oceans and all of its shades, especially the dark ones. If my queer had a color, it would be black, like my skin, like the backs of my ancestors before me. If my queer had a color, it would be golden, because against this black skin we shine. My melanin is rooted in oppression, in the struggle. My blackness speaks a different language than you can understand. This nigga know how to speak, know how to maneuver in space they say ain't for him. I found the colors of my queerness like the way in my closet, quiet. Cause Kruger had me convinced my flamboyance was a demon, sharp-toothed and eating at my boyness, my maleness, my manness, man, running away from rainbow. A light that reflected off my own halo. How mistaken was I said I found my queerness, made it walk on water, on ceilings, cause I don't care what you thought my queer black ass can do. I'm able to be, to exist. My blackness makes it so, my queerness makes it so. Don't get me started on my gender and challenge everything y'all think a man is supposed to be. Don't let this gay shit fool you. Cause we gay niggas got hands too.
Darius, can you bring that back? Bring it back. Thank you.
My bad.
Make it a little crazy. You can't stop this here. You can't stop this here. Work for my God. I'm gonna play my card. I'm gonna leave your atmosphere. It's sometimes, and I give your gossip. I'm a real content, but I got no option. And I can't be stopped. I'm gonna keep on walking. In my power, in my purpose, and that backbite so worth.
Y'all good? Y'all good?
Yeah. We can't hear y'all. You said y'all good? Yeah.
Checking. Okay. That one worked. I hate the term black girl magic. Now, before you roll your eyes, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I hate the term black girl magic. Now, before you roll your eyes, try to see through mine. Magic is a trick, it's a show, it's not permanent. So when the show is over, so is the magic. I don't want sisters to perform anymore. While others are pulling a rabbit out of their hat, we're pulling out degrees, and we're still overlooked. We have busted our behind in every category: education, personal development, spiritual growth. Broken stereotypes and watch you build them back. Ran on track and for office, and the only thing you can come up with is magic? This ain't magic. For so many sisters, it's depression using Maybelline for cover. Depression has straightened more hair than grease, yet we persist. Not all charcoal burns the same. Black burns ain't recognized. Saying we are magic strips us of our accomplishments. Speaking speaking of magic, how you keep making black women disappear? So many of us are missing. Is that the magic you're speaking of? Black girls ain't magical. We're ancestral sunshine and black rain.
Come on.
We brighten up your day while watering your soul. But don't let all this magic fool you. We dive deep into darkness to show you this light. Our pain is not recognized, so we hide it well. Is that the magic you speak of? The ability to look happy while suffering? Black girls ain't magical, and we don't go to no magic school. And our DNA does not have sparkles in it. So you see some glitter residue? No, that's us just making way for more greatness. Black girls ain't magical. We just want to be our own definition of whole. So I cannot let you reword our efforts to make it effortless. Keep your salt. We only want seasoning. You can't throw shade on black women. We used to sitting in it.
Come on.
You want to say something about us? Say you never seen someone so prepared to get ready for a party she shouldn't even been invited to attend. And show up and be one of the most majestic people in the room, all while juggling haters and she too much in her back pocket. Say black women be warriors and triple our preparation for one event. Say we are paintbrushes that don't need to be dipped into paint to show color. Magic don't make masterpieces. We do.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Brother Jarvis. Y'all know this song.
With their hands up to the sky still.
Check, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
The United States be divided. Wait, the United States be divided. United States divided in a two-party system. Lack of education, short attention spans, got our kids like, can I get on the guest list? Red and blue states whose blocks have Bloods and Crips. Learn about gentrification, ladies and gents, to understand why moms can't pay that Section 8 rent. Policy pushing us back if you don't vote against come from broken homes to breaking homes, robbing hoods, but not taking from the rich. I won't get like this. I won't get like this. Conscious of your nonsense since '88. My mom was feeding me with Johnson and Johnson, christened like Godson, born down in this world roaming, trying to figure where home is, give change to the homeless, but not like Obama, because my campaign don't get enough likes. That's the I don't like. Too much Facebook, not enough faces in a book. That's a status I won't like. My news feed me fast food, not overweight, loving heavy depression. Thanks to Herbal Lifestyle, trying to marry Greek god bodies. While Herbal Lifestyle is still in jail for small possession charges, probably. Keep your head on swivel like the security camera saying you fit the description. Use your third eye to listen and ears to watch what they say. They don't want you at your game.
Go ahead.
I said use your third eye to listen and ears to watch what they're saying. They don't want you at their games, but you playing. They don't want you at their games, but you playing. I said this can be just us, but you playing like Janet Jackson. Everybody See, everybody want to be black. We don't want to be black because we bees in the trap. Funny how we laugh now and cry later. Money. The only thing we concerned with, but what y'all gonna do when that loses value because the Federal Reserve Bank is not controlled by the government. I won't go like this.
Talk about it.
I won't go like this. Ladies, you say you're flawless, but no man is without sin. And Mr. Perfect doesn't exist. He died after wrestling with life. I'm telling you, the blessings come from the sky, not the bluest eye. See, they sign your checks. Trapped with the cheese, now that's trapped. because they've constructed a middle class for you to be complacent with life, but cut your corners. So what that means, you never have a slice. Now this poem is not here to list problems like a workbook or have people leaving this place with hurt looks, but the same way we dance to twerk hooks, we can move to beat our oppression. We get weak as individuals, but strength in numbers is a suggestion because wars are fought with armies and won with battles until laws are written on paper, similar to the ones I write these words on saying. Much like the creator formed itself by realizing that it did exist, we come into realizations of ourselves and wake up like this. Thank you.
All right. Okay. I'm going to start with Brother Cleveland on this one. As visionary leaders, talk to the students about the parallel between the urgency of now and taking advantage of the opportunities that exist at this moment, and for why students should be creating a vision for a path to success.
That's a lot. I'm still trying to get past the poetry, you know. I'm still trying to recoup, you know. That's a lot, Trina. I will say this. Most people in this room have sight. That don't mean you have vision. Right? And so, my freshman year in college, my fall semester, I had a 1.4 GPA. I majored in spades, minored in football. Real talk, I did. The reason I'm saying is that if some of you all are struggling academically, the folks on the stage have been there before. So why listen to someone who has not been there before, right? How many of you all drive? How many of y'all heard of a GPS system called Waze? The reason why I use Waze is not necessarily know how to get to another destination, but what Waze does is tells you what's up ahead. It tells you where the police are, barriers, construction. The folks up here are like Waze. Why try to figure out yourself when they already been here before? And so you're going to try until you hit some kind of barrier, right? And then you're going to be towed up because you didn't listen. God will break your heart and fix your vision. So, in other words, if people already been there before, listen, right? And on the success part is this. On your road to success, however you define it for yourself, and on your journey, and when you encounter a barrier, change your direction, but not your destination. All right?
How can you come back after that? No.
You can put the mic down.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
So you're done,
Listen,
and then we can go on to the next one.
I know my place.
You know your I'm going to call Big Homie up. All right, come on, Big Homie.
All right, good evening. I'm really loud now. So, since we kind of came up the church moment, I guess we're trying to stick with particular themes. I come from a divinity background. I have a degree from, I told the chaplain here, I have a divinity degree from Howard University. So this is interfaith anthology, and I want to kind of do some stuff. I heard some of the history from here, so I'm going to do a couple of pieces and then bring up the next person and kind of share in this discussion. So this particular thing of, we've talked about certain things of mental health, so it's just like, really things of, especially when it comes to spirit, and sometimes people feel like it's contradictory, but they go hand in hand. So when you might feel hopeless, I wrote this particular piece that got published 2 years ago, and it's called My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and his righteousness, you see. This hope is all that I have. But I feel that all hope is going to have to remember where my hope is built. I hope so I can encourage someone who does not know Christ. I hope so in darkness someone can see light. I hope because I cannot put my trust in man. I hope in Christ because he knows my plans. I hope because I know I have an expected end. I hope in Christ because my broken heart he mends. I hope so I can make it through the day. I hope because there's a debt that I cannot repay. God so loved the world that blessed hope was given. Christ was born, he was crucified, and now he's risen. Whenever someone tries to steal my joy, I hope. I remember that I was baby boy, and I hope. Whenever I'm down and I'm feeling weak, I hope. In my secret place, his face I seek, I need to hope. My faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence is not seen. The main reason why I place my hope in Christ is that he is my everything. I hope so I can give hope to others. I hope so I can speak life to my sisters and brothers. The life of Christ is the blessed hope and why I live. So if Christ is hope and he brings life, he is who I give. Thank you. Yeah. Talking, like I said, a lot of times, and hopefully we can have continued discussions, like I said, sometimes. And that's why I did appreciate about my son, because he asked me about like how my summer experience and stuff like that. But still, like, you know, as far as that a lot of times when you're going through, they feel like it contradicts with some things that go hand in hand. So this particular piece I wrote is called Intimacy. So, like, you know, a lot of us, we talk about relationships. I mean, I've been in relationships, I've been single. I wrote this being frustrated being single. Or sometimes when you feel alone, which I know that's going to be going into a discussion about some other things that, you know, in our discussion tonight. So with that, when I felt alone, this particular poem came about, and it's called Intimacy. I have you by yourself today so you can learn a new way of intimacy. This intimacy is not the verb, but as you become introverted, you'll get in touch with yourself. No one can truly understand the man and woman I created you to be. Your adversity and trials will put a smile on the face of despair when they know that you care and you're not there to take advantage of them. They will experience my grace and know that they have a place in my army. I am the commander-in-chief, and some have the wrong belief about the weapons of mass destruction. These weapons were words that touched them meant to do them harm, but I'm here to tell you that none of these arms will prosper. The way you fight the enemy is with an intimate relationship with me, and that's why you're by yourself today. I know it's cliche to say that you're never alone, but without me, you could have never known how to be kept in the midst of the storm. I talk to your spirit and I whisper in your ear as we spend quality time and make it very clear the plans I have for you. When I speak my will, you want to doubt, but when it doesn't go to your plan, you want to pout, but my intimacy shows you my unfailing love. In your flesh, you may fail again and again. You need to know that I'm the only friend who sticks closer than a brother. You will discover that the love of your soul will renew your spirit and make you whole, and that is true intimacy. I know that you're scared to love and you don't want to hurt, but as long as you know that your total worth lies in me, the intimacy will lead you to all truth. You don't have to be a student. You have a clue. I am keeping you. The guilt from your past, please have no shame, but when you see the sin on others, please don't blame. I came so that you might have life. Although you are delivered, you may feel the thorn, my child. You have no reason to mourn. Jesus was born so that you might have life. So when those you meet are pushed and shoved, you can introduce them to my unfailing love, because my love is more than life. And the main reason that you'll be razor sharp is because you have me in your heart. So take this time of intimacy. Learn to accept my love from your friends around you. You need to know that my grace abounds so you can learn to love me better. No, I don't want you to be used, but I can instruct you in what to say and do. So take this time of intimacy. I really want to give you all of your heart's desires, but I first need to be your all-consuming fire. So take this time of intimacy. So as you're by yourself today, know that all of you are set apart. Talk to me and pray. I love you. Value the intimacy. As we call in seminary, preaching voice, being able to speak loud without a mic. Kimby Miller for some of you, she'll give the proper, because we're educated poets, whatever. She's known as the haiku queen in some parts, so she's going to share some of her haiku with you. Oh, that's good. You got great home training. Okay. So Kenzie Miller.
Who's heard of a haiku? A couple of you, good. Okay, that's not this one. I'm doing that. Okay. So this is performing haiku, so I'm going to explain, okay? So a haiku is a beautiful Japanese art form of poetry. Very short, there's more than one, but the most popular one is the 5-7-5. Traditional haiku, only on nature and flowers. There's also something called a senryu. Same structure, only 17 syllables, not 17 words, 17 syllables. You have a short window to make a point. Haiku, traditional nature and flowers. Senryu, any subject. Got it? In the poetry performing world, we call them both haiku, just like you call an oak and a palm both a tree. We don't make that distinction. Okay, so I'm going to say haiku. I'm going to point to you. You say it before each one, and we'll get started. Haiku. Okay, a little stronger. Haiku. There we go. Strong women are not unbreakable. We just know you ain't the hammer.
Haiku.
How many times do you have to fall before you stop tripping yourself?
Haiku.
How come super is a man when we have to wonder about woman?
I think we need that again.
We need that again?
We need it one more again.
Rewind it. How come super is a man when we have to wonder about woman? Sierra didn't know she had the wrong future till she started wrestling. See, y'all got it. Now, earlier, they told you you weren't going to hear any Shakespeare, but I like to Shakespeare up. So here we go. Haiku. Let's Shakespeare up. To be shot or not to be shot? That's what Black's question.
Haiku.
In order for me to be a gold digger, don't you have to have gold?
Haiku.
Some of you do not have haters unless your mirror started talking. Rewinding. Some of you do not have haters unless your mirror started talking. Haiku. Him. You ain't nothing. Me. I was nothing. That's why I picked you. Bye, boy.
Haiku.
Stop blaming men for having baggage when you have a storage unit. Rewinding. Stop blaming men for having baggage when you have a storage unit.
Haiku.
Get counseling. Your mate is not your therapist. Rewinding. mate is not your therapist. They're your victim. Okay, hikers.
Thank you.
You love all 50 shades of gray, but you can't deal with one shade of black?
Yeah, that was, yeah. Can you just go straight to that talk? Because I can't really.
I mean, like, that was a church thing. Yeah. Out of here.
We said we were gonna touch all the senses and make you feel uncomfortable. So if you do, you gotta start thinking.
Who said that? The lady at the store.
That is not a compliment.
Listen, it's an ugly, nasty word, and you were going to hear it. Nothing I can do about that. But you are not going to let that word hurt you. You hear me?
There are some people who think you don't deserve the same privileges just because of what you look like. It's not fair. It's not. Remember, you can do anything they can. Difference is you gotta work twice as hard and be twice as smart. Come straight from my practice. You got your ID? Guess it's stuff.
How's your review?
We're good.
Good? You see?
We're good.
Okay. Good. Now, when you get pulled over,
I'm a good driver.
hey, don't worry. This is not about you getting a ticket. This is about you not coming home.
I'm gonna be okay. Right?
Okay.
It's not fair. But you keep showing up.
You are not pretty for a black girl. You are beautiful, period. Okay? Don't ever forget that.
So after that video was called The Talk, so we are going straight into the sense of hearing. So this question is for everybody on stage.
But let me just put the church moment on there,
Yeah.
make it quick. Get to the point, okay? Because I do know that we do have some time that we have to get on the road and things like that, so.
Gotcha.
Got it? Okay, thank you.
So oftentimes individuals rather deal with issues quietly instead of speaking up. Why is it important for students to continue to speak truth to power? What advice would you give students of color when learning how to speak truth to power? Whoever wants to go.
If you're going to speak truth, let it be truth. Let's start with that. Come with your opinion and your facts lined up. Don't come all emotional. Come with your opinion and your facts lined up. be able to speak eloquently about what you're saying. This is not a war of the words. This is you getting your point across so that the other person understands. Sometimes we walk in a room with the chip on our shoulder, rightfully so, because it's something we're dealing with on a daily basis. But the way to get it to the other person, the way to get the buy-in, just think if I came to you and said I needed the chair moved and I started screaming, move the chair, move the chair. You'd be like, why couldn't you just ask me to move the chair? A lot of times people aren't heard because they're like, well, I don't think the chair should be there. Oh, really? Well, tell me why. Oh, I just don't like it there. Have your stuff lined up. The chair shouldn't be there because it's not a good spot for the audience to see people. Based on the shows we had previously, we filmed it, and that particular chair was blocked. Come with your opinion and your facts lined up so that when you're heard, it's crisp, it's clear, and it's concrete.
It's hard to follow Karen. When I was an undergrad, I was the director of civil disobedience for my Black Student Union. And we used our voices to resist everything that we felt was unjust for Black students, right? Access to space, funding for Black organizations, anything, right? We came together and was like, yo, this isn't right. Y'all are funding this organization, this amount of money, we have to beg for it. That's a discrepancy here, right? And that kind of turned into a Black Lives Matter week, where we had a week of protests and demonstrations, right? One of them we shut down our bus turnarounds. So when the bus picked up students, we shut it down, we linked up in arms, and we chanted, right? I don't know if he worked for somewhere I'm going to school in DeKalb, Illinois, sorry, Northern Illinois University. DeKalb is extremely racist. Y'all know about DeKalb? Extremely racist. But the beauty that I found in that space is the camaraderie amongst Black, PLC, and allied folks, right? Like, we made our own community even amongst that, right? So, with the bus turn around, we locked in, we linked up, we're chanting. A van comes behind us, right? He's trying to drive through the string of students that are locked up. So, Big Mouth, I said, if you push that gas any inch further, it's gonna be a different conversation in that van, sir. But at this time, I wasn't a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, but members of Phi Beta Sigma were present, members of Kappa Alpha Psi were present, members of Alpha Alpha were present. Everybody comes out, right? So Black organizations are down for activism. And so as this was happening, like, folks were filming, news crews were there, and I just remember, like, it felt like an out-of-body experience, right? Because we're sitting up here fighting for equity. Give us the same access and resource. And at the same time, we have to fight for safety. So, right, Kim was saying, have your facts? Absolutely, have your passion too. Because Black life is that important. People are dying. People who look like us are dying. It ain't safe for us, right? So it has to be a point where we stop playing with that and understand that until we get equity, we gonna knock it all down, right? And rightfully so. So, thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna be brief. There's a book called The Psychology of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. I'll say it again, The Psychology of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. And it's a great book because it talks about self-assertion, right? And when you don't assert yourself, that leads to depression. Okay, and oftentimes on college campuses, students are coming into a place where there's no correction, in a sense, from asserting yourself like high school, like at home. You know what I'm saying? So, the understanding of when you assert yourself, the goal is to be understood by who you are speaking out against. Will allow you to have your voice heard in a way that you feel affirmed by what it is that you're doing. So that's all I'm going to keep you off of that.
So, I mean, I'm glad that they spoke so I had a chance to think about what I was actually going to say about the whole herd. So, I'm going to break down the collective which you heard, the Black Greek poets. So, it's just that in order to speak truth to power, to be heard, there's different things. So, poetry, right? Some of you are familiar with the whole slam stuff, whatever, 3 minutes. Sometimes when you get nervous, I'll just speak for myself, that you can be verbose, sometimes you just sing. but still trying to organize your thoughts. That might be like, okay, that pow of like saying, whether it's 17 syllables, like, what Kim does in haiku, or like a 3-minute poem or whatever, and try to organize them with that. That's one way of doing it. You have a lot, you have the BS, you have different things. So organizational-wise, what we do within our fraternities and sororities, you're able to go ahead and do that. So I would just say, Greek-wise, we've been able to do a lot of different movements. Like I see the parade, right? The QEP was member 586, and so it's just like, as far as that, the Black Panthers and what they do. So it's just like you're able to be heard just through putting together. And one thing that you have, especially in the 21st century, a lot of stuff online. Black reposts, especially in the last 2 years. This is my first time actually today meeting Darius face to face. We're out of the DC area, he's originally from the West Coast. He actually, even with my brother here, like he heard about me on the East Coast of DC before he came. We were able to connect. We were able to grow this thing, have over 200 people. So what you're able to do through a lot of podcasting, you're able to have power that can make change. I mean, not only, of course, for this community in Kentucky, but still globally, we're able to reach people internationally. So use all the tools that you have in order to make a difference.
I was just going to say, to Kim's point, communication is really important. You'll be able to articulate your ideals, but you also understand what you're talking about and talking against. So, I have a quote in my office that says that if you don't understand your opponent's argument, you don't fully understand your own. Right? So, you can't text your way through this revolution. You got to be able to communicate without that phone at some point in time. Because it may not be appropriate at that time for a text. So we got to be able to communicate. Write the narrative, W-R-I-T-E, so you can write the narrative, R-I-G-H-T. All right?
Poet?
Great points. I mean, those are really great points. I always speak on experience. When I was here, you should always speak, but you need to listen first and know your audience. And let's be honest with each other. When I was here at Bills Piper College at the time, we didn't have this, So we had to make sure that if we spoke, we needed to know who we were speaking to and how we were speaking. Because sometimes you might speak and put yourself in a situation that you can't get out of because of the person you're talking to not listening, or they're listening to you to sabotage you. So you gotta know how to navigate. So sometimes you don't have to speak. You can speak by listening, because a lot of times those folks will let you know who they really are by just sitting there and be quiet and let things kind of take its course. And if they're gonna move, they're gonna move. And again, like there's a southern proverb that we used to call back home: if they look like a snake and they move like a snake, they're a stab snake. That's what I say.
So let's talk about our fourth sense. We're turning the corner, and let's talk about the sense of style. Let's talk about style. Now, this section of this sense created a little bit of a stir. If you know anything about the Divine Nine, each organization is known for something. And as I have the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi here, they're known for their style, for their grace, their light and the finer things of life. That created a big old issue back here with the Sigma brothers. So, just ever so slightly. So I'm just going to ask in general, I'm just going to say this. Black culture is multi-dimensional. It is expressed in the way that we walk, the way we talk, and the way we move. We've been making our own language since we were stripped of our language and found ways to communicate with each other through the stars and even through our cornrows on the crowns of our head as a guide to freedom, by the way. Okay. Black culture is often imitated but never duplicated. But if it's so exciting, panelists, and wonderful. Why do so many people of color still feel the need to code switch? And is it a betrayal of one's identity, or is it a matter of survival? Who wants that?
That's a lot.
Who wants to touch that?
I'll try.
Okay.
But that is a lot. First of all, you know, I'll start with this whole black experience. We experience a lot of things as a people. We're not necessarily all the same. We all don't value the same thing, believe the same thing. There's cultures within cultures, right? There's subcultures. So you can't stereotype folks. But I will say, I mean, for instance, when I walked in, I know y'all wanted to hear some Playboy Cardi and Little Uzi, but my man was over playing Slick Rick. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? So we don't necessarily value all the same thing, but we have some same experiences, right? And so all I'm saying is that, you know, code switching, situational behavior, whatever it is, so you can navigate through that space. Never lose the core of who you are. Never. And I'll apologize for doing that. Okay?
I actually had my first year in banking. A realtor told me that I needed to change my voice because I didn't sound white. We got some pastors in here, so I won't say what I was thinking. But she really told me that. And here's the thing, she wasn't white. Right? That bothered me for a while. I was like, man. So I asked her, hey, so did you change your voice? Because you know, she was like, yeah, I changed my voice. And I said, well, hell, how much business you get? She said, well, I'm not getting that much. I said, well, probably because they know you're fake. So, so the code switching thing, I mean, be who you are. You know, people gonna appreciate you for who you are. You know, I moved to Kentucky out of high school, and I had to learn about hollers and all this stuff. And I done been to Red Creek, Johns Creek, Mud Creek, Lower Johns Creek, Robinson Creek, Williamson, Letcher County, Pike County, and well, that's Pop. So, right, I've been here a while, it's Pop. So you better say it right. But I gotta know where I'm at. You know, well, you gotta figure out where you are. So, but I'm not gonna, change, don't change who you are. I mean, be comfortable with that. But also, respect others, and their culture too. So I wanted to learn this culture, because I was a new person in this town. I mean, first time I experienced hillbilly days, oh my God. I mean, y'all experienced hillbilly days?
Yeah.
Right.
Some of them have it.
Oh.
I have.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Listen, I'll just give you one quick story of my hillbilly days experience. First year, we coming out of spring practice. We was up here at the gym, the bus load of guys. So we get off the bus now. Again, there was 75 of us. Most of us was from Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. You had about 25 from, this area. Just cool. So we seen all these trucks parked up all around the gym, and they had Clan 40, Clan 58, Clan 39. Man, I'm black from South Carolina. You seen Clan? So I passed, I'm like, damn. So everybody on the bus praying, God, please. Again, we 18, we not from here. We don't know what's going on. We know what's going on. Even the coach said, guys, don't get off the bus. Do not get off the bus. I'm telling you this, do not get off the bus. We said, okay, we coach, we get off this damn bus. So we got it. But, come to find out, those were Shriners that was there, and here in participation, and they're raising money for their mission, and those guys are really nice. But that's some of the things, from a stereotype standpoint, we can also stereotype people too. So, with the code switching thing, I always say, just be who you are. And I say that as a funny story, but I mean, that really did happen. But a lot of us got to know Pike a lot more, experience some of the cultural background of Eastern Kentucky, and learn from that. So, just be honest with you. That's the best thing I can say.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Check. Land of the free, home of the brave, but we ain't free if we still slaves. Land of the free, home of the brave, but we ain't free if we still slaves. Land of the free, home of the brave, but we ain't free if we still slaves. Land of the free, home of the brave, but we ain't free if we still slaves. Cause black bodies be the force that turns the world. Like the earth, like dirt. My black be beaten beyond belief, but it still stands, even when it hurts. This black skin no fight, no knuckle up or buckle up. This black will be always be quick to knuckle, the last to buckle, oppression to knuckle, your racist self to knuckle. Yeah, that was that beat. Shout out to our DJ 5 Star. Make some noise for 5 Star. Y'all can do better, make some noise for 5 Star. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. I know what your racism tastes like. The bitter tingle of sweat and blood, much like the colored only water fountains we used to drink from, swallowing desert and lie like molasses chains, mirror that which we use to bind ancestors cold like metal hot, like we want back my name. It's not Toby, my name. It's not inmate 8685931. I am not defined by number. I know what your racism sounds like. Thunder, booming against sky like fist to face, oppressed to race, my race. I know what your racism feels like, lava on skin, spit in face, nigga. Your racism sounds like nigga. You're from the lips of the 1%, hey yo, 1%. What's the amount of stock you get from me and my brothers behind your iron bars, epidemic? Your racism looks like epidemic. Drone, zombie nation, brainless, feeding off the brains of the brainless, soulless. Humanity can't be purchased. Jimmy Crow, crack, corn, crack, whip. Raise fist, deflects this, unite. Racism is afraid of unity of you, of me. Racism looks like cocaine. On cover of Time magazine feels like razor blades. On island sounds like war. On drugs, on black, on people, era war. On drugs, era war. On black people, era war. On drugs, on black, on people tastes like pepper spray and bleach death. Smells like burnt mocha flesh, dripping from the bones of strange fruit. America's trying to go green without going black. Red, white, and blue nooses hang from flagpole, hang from ceiling, hang from oak tree. What else could these America colors do besides hang? Our fingerprints rest in the soil of this nation. And I fight for justice, will never cease. I fight for black folks, will never cease. I fight for queer folks, will never cease. I fight for trans folks, will never cease. You see these lines, how they intermeet. I fight for justice, will never cease. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. I want to be free. Like water. I want to be free amongst waters. I want to be free like the water of the struggles of my people not good enough for you. Or the way they pick cotton, not intriguing enough. Or the way they endure lashes of fire on their backs in order to see their families that night. Tell me, is my history boring? Was my black offensive? These 28 days in February is all some of us got. My ancestors have bled on your America's flag long after slavery. Suffocating beneath red waters were waiting. on hands and feet, writing our history on waves, carrying our lineage on back. You see bullets bounce between ocean currents like middle passages, like black boys floating in pools of blood. I'm the blood and sweat of my ancestors seeped into this soil that's produced the strangest of fruit. I'm sandcastles built on concrete, because concrete can't seem to stand sand anymore. Just like America can't seem to stand those black boys anymore. Like guns, and they're having the black boys and black girls and black boys and black girls. They see no difference. They see black, they see color, they see no difference. Carter G. Woodson created Black History Week as a means to give credit to the diligence within the bones of my people. A confirmation that invention and innovation isn't just a white thing, and that my melon was built for something more than collard greens and fried chicken. I'm the fight, and Martin's voice, the rage, and Malcolm's power militants, like Ray Hampton Cunning, like Harriet Brave, like Rosa fed up like you, like me, of this country and its injustice. My people are strong, and I'm still stuck trying to connect dot of blood and bone, wondering what my true history even is. That being black is even real. What is black? What is real? I'm African. The Nile River is pumping through my veins. I'm Ghanaian, Sudanese, I am Kenyan, Egyptian, Moroccan, Somalian. I'm the scriptures they lost at sea. I'm waiting amongst all these waters. Waiting, forever waiting, wondering if God is going to trouble them. Ashe.
So we're now on our last section. It's smell. So this is for the whole panel. What does success smell like? So, want to just do one?
Yeah, just do one.
This one? It's going to be the last one. Or do you want to do two of them?
Just flow with it.
All right, I'm gonna flow with it. All right, cool. So, this is for the panel. We need to be able to identify the people along our path to success who can train and mentor us. You have the map of these people because they'll help you along the way. They will mentor you. What advice do you give students of color in finding mentors who can assist in their quest to success? Whoever wants to go.
All right. I think from the way it is, we're probably gonna go like this row right here, and then we're going to exit real briefly and come back. So pretty much, what I would say, kind of piggybacking, even with the code switch, I would encourage, because our sister, who is the original founder of Black Greek Code, she has a code called Bilingual, which really covers with code switching. But still, for the whole entire thing of having those types of relationships, nurturing relationships, because I mean sometimes in the negative thing is being opportunistic, and I mean I guess in the sense of the word it's fine, but still disingenuous. It's not a good thing. So it's just like, really with that growing within, if you are in a fraternal organization or any type of Greek organization, but still with the BSUs and other types of things, there's LGBT, I know there's faith-based organizations, being able to kind of grow and seeing the power in that. Because, like I said, a lot of these things, I mean, whereas, was said earlier, a lot of organizations that are not Black Greek, is like, oh, I was in a fraternity when I was in college. Versus, like, these are lifelong organizations. Some people don't join until after they graduate. So it's just really trying to grow from that. And you never know how things are. Like, I'm at 5-star, like, both of us are from and based out of DC area, with the exception of Darius. So basically, I'm at 5-star. I think about certain things. I'm like, okay, for the thing of life. So I met Kim Cole's Living Single, and like, whatever, some of y'all too old, young for that. But still, like, she had an event, and basically, long story short, was I met him like 2015. I did a presentation last November. I recognized him. We were able to kind of connect. And that's why I'm saying keeping those genuine things where, and he's with us. I had a conversation. I've been talking with Adam and Katrina for some time. This has been a few months in the making. So it's just for that, being able to build and travel. And again, with what I said about the platform you have doing stuff virtually, again, we've been able to build and travel and do stuff all over the country. So it's just like really having those genuine relationships, not taking people for granted, and still with that, you'll be amazed with what type of power we have.
So I want to briefly share the quote that says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with the team, go with people." And you have to have that in your mindset when you're thinking about having a mentor, right? Because it's a relationship, okay? You're building a relationship with someone who's not an authoritarian, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna tell you what to do and have these expectations of you like a parent, but there's someone who's gonna be a guide for your life, right? And I learned something a couple years back called the Law of 33. And the Law of 33 is your net worth should be 33% of your peers, 33% of people above you, and 33% of people who you are going to mentor, right? And that's how you become a whole person, and you have people who pour into you as much as you pour into them. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
So as our Black Greek poets step off the stage, I'm going to go into the last question that I'll ask the Kappas here. Stepping or strolling is part of the Greek life experience. Can you share the significance of the step and stroll?
One I'm not going to show you. Can I say one thing on the last question?
Yeah, sure.
Because, I mean, strolling and things like that, that's cool, but that's not the primary part of our organization, but it's cool though. But they were talking about being successful, and I just want to ask Larry this question, because it's tied to what I'm going to say to you all. You're a banker. When someone says, tell me your net worth, what do they mean by that? Your net worth.
Total assets minus liabilities.
Okay. So basically how much money you have, what you own, right?
It's a combination of the money you own, the money you have, and the value of your assets, like cars, houses, things of that nature, pension funds.
And so if you want to be successful, I'll tell you two things. Your net worth is inextricably linked to your network. Who you surround yourself with. You make sure you deal with people who have your back, not who's holding you back. Right? And so you gotta make sure, I'm good with everybody. Right? But I don't share my time with everybody because time is value, right? So you gotta make sure that you'll be successful. You follow folks who already been there, because in your circle. And the last thing is this: don't get caught up in negativity, because when you internalize negativity, it comes out of your behavior. So be careful with that. Let me say it this way: don't pay attention to shade when it comes from trees that don't bear any fruit. Right? The stepping thing, my knees are bad. I can't stroll right now. I'll give y'all a little something, but then y'all have me on Instagram and Facebook. So I'm a grown man. I can't be out looking all crazy. But part of the stroll, the steps, and I think the singer's going to do their thing, is it's part of the organization, but also just part of our culture, because a lot of steps do come back from the continent, right? It comes back from the continent. So we just, revised it, modified it. We do it with canes. Singers do it with canes sometimes. The Qs do it a little different, their gold boots or whatever. But it's part of the culture where we come from the continent, but it's also another way to demonstrate who we are as an organization. Like the rude new pretty boys. That's who we are.
Just threw that in, didn't you? Okay.
Oh my God. My measurement of success is a little different, just because when I had my first son, it opened my eyes a little bit, and then I was blessed to have another son that opened my eyes even more. So my success to me is not me individually, it's to have something set aside for them later on in life. So I'm looking at building wealth for them. You know, so that means I'm sacrificing now. That was what my grandfather did, that what my father did. So that's what I'm gonna do for my boys so that they can have a better step in life. So instead of starting from zero, somebody gotta sacrifice. A lot of times it's hard because you wanna, man, I wanna get this, I wanna buy that. But just give it some time, you will be able to do it. But as Brother Cleveland was talking about, sometimes your friends that you're around, and me being in banking, a lot of people stunt. A lot of people have material things, but their bank account doesn't show that, and their refrigerator is empty. So don't get caught up in what you see, because a lot of times people will allow you to see things that are always good. Just like Facebook, Instagram, they don't really put bad stuff on Instagram about yourself. You always put good stuff. Ain't no way in the world your life is that damn great. There's no way. There's no way. It's not. Everybody goes through things. I mean, you have no arguments in the house. I mean, nobody, because if your woman ain't happy or your man ain't happy, something ain't right. So, my kids are important to me. So I want to make sure that they are set aside. So my success is built on them. So I want to instill in them right now, so in the future they can be successful. So I take myself out of, and Steve, how you doing in America? Yeah, I haven't seen you down there. Now his wife, when I was here on the football team, she asked me to come and speak to her elementary class. She probably don't remember that, but it's been a long time ago. Yes, she did. I'm in the newspaper for doing that, but I'm not going to scroll either, but my knees are good. Go ahead, brother.
So now stepping and showing, I know a lot of people wanted to see, so our brothers they're getting ready to do their thing. So DJ 5-Star dropped it.
Well, it's show time in the house tonight, and it's our time to. It's show time in the house tonight, and it's our time to get it right. It's show time in the house tonight, and it's our time to get it right. It's show time in the house tonight, and it's our time to get it right. It started in Africa. When I was a young boy, my daddy said to me, he said, listen up, my little man, child, a Sigma you're gonna be. I said, oh, daddy, won't you please reveal your secrets to me? He said, keep your heart and your mind on Sigma and keep your eyes on me. Cause Phi Beta Sigma got soul. 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 Phi Beta Sigma. I love my PHI, my BETA, my SIG, a blue, blue, S-A. PHI, my BETA, my SIG, a blue, blue, S-A. PHI. Blue, 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 blue fire. You know. Blue, 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 blue fire. You know.
Thank you. I know you guys are a little old, so like it probably was hurting, but I appreciate it. I definitely appreciated it. So one last thing. So I was gonna go into that last. Oh, we good? Oh. So thank everybody for coming out. I hope everybody learned something, kind of thought outside the box. The last thing I wanted to say is all these panelists here are entrepreneurs. That's something that all of you should want to aspire to be. I do want to at least let everyone here talk about their entrepreneurships that they have personally that they are passionate about. So I'll start off before.
I'm just gonna say, we're gonna use the 3 B's. Be brief, brother, be brief.
So I'll start off with DJ 5 Star so everybody could get, DJ 5 Star was the DJ here tonight. Hopefully you'll see him back on campus for one of our parties. So, DJ 5 Star, if you can tell us about your entrepreneurship.
All right, really quickly, if you can hear me, say hello. Hello. When I say be more, you say STEM. Be more. STEM. Be more. STEM. Well, STEM is my life's work, you all. I found a way to combine my engineering degree with me being a professional DJ. Started about 12 years ago, traveling the country, talking about how when I scratch this record, that's kinetic energy, that's friction, that's physics. Right? And so I started telling these young people about, wait a minute, technology affected the DJ industry. I can control what you see on the screen. Right? That is digital logic. That's a class I took. Engineering is nothing more than creating something to solve a problem. This DJ technology has allowed me to travel the country without my thousands of records that was costing me $700 to ship everywhere as a DJ in the 90s. And so now we have 3 products. I want to share this where when people say, don't follow your dream, you can't do it, don't believe them. If you tell somebody your dream and they say, you gotta be kidding, you crazy. If they say that, you in the right direction. Because when I graduated with an engineering degree, I was DJing, y'all. My family was looking at me crazy. Why are you DJing, Kendrick? You should be working for somebody else. And I said, wait a minute. Your life's work combines 3 things. And so you want to make sure that you can create jobs and not just go and get a job, right? And so what I thought was, okay, if I can create something to solve a problem, what if we have a product that teaches young people how to DJ using mathematical principles? I looked around the country, it don't exist. Oh, I found some partners in Canada. So we got data from the Canadian federal government they did a 5-year study and it doubles math scores. So now we're selling this kit that teaches you how to DJ using mathematical principles. This video on the screen is actually Channel 2 News from home talking about what we do and how we can teach kids about math through doing music. And so this is my life's work. Your life's work is 3 ingredients and I'll wrap it up. So I want you to find your life's work. I'm not here to teach you how to DJ. I want you to find your life's work is bigger than a job. It's bigger than a career. It's why there are professors here on this campus doing research for the rest of their life because they found these three ingredients that match up to your life's work. First is your passion. Something you love so much you would do it for free. DJing is work to me, but when you catch me in my studio and I'm just working on scratches, it's the DJ craft. The highlight of my DJ career is performing with Soulful Symphony. So if you can imagine me with my bow tie scratching with 77 other instruments, it doesn't get no better than that. So you gotta match your passion, what you love so much that you would do it for free, mixed with sustainability. Mr. 5-Star, what's sustainability? I'm glad you asked. It's you solving a problem for somebody or satisfying a need. When you satisfy a need or solve a problem and continue to support it, that's sustainability. And the third ingredient to your life's work, it's gotta make the world a better place. I come from an urban background. I saw brothers passionate about the hustle. I saw that they had the business knowledge, but the product they were selling didn't make the world a better place. Therefore, the lifespan of that life's work was very short. They're not here with us anymore, or they are being told what to do behind bars, if that makes sense. So you want to make sure your life's work, and I'll close with this, is those 3 ingredients. It mixes with your passion. You love it so much you would do it for free. It solves a problem or satisfies a need, and then it makes the world a better place. So thank you so much for letting me talk about my life's work as a STEM DJ. Thank you so much.
I would say thank you for having the Black Free Poets. I'm going to make it real quick because I'd like everybody to quickly share a piece, but we sell books, we produce stuff, we travel all over. We're going to see our hometown. We're going to start with Darius, then it'll be him, then it'll be Nerds, and I'll close out. Go ahead, Darius. Black Boys.
Hey, yo, Black Boys. You got to cut my mic. Hey, yo, Black Boys. This poem is for you, for the God in you, for the mastermind in you, for the pride in you, for the genius in you, for the protector and the savage in you, for the truth in you, for the broke mirrors in you, for the broken you. This is me reminding you that it's okay to be broken, for the forgotten you, as long as you take the strides to find you. Hey, yo, Black Boys. This is for the knowledge in you that absorbs just about every bit of it from the sun. Life begins with you. It ain't easy being no black boy in this world. It ain't easy being black in this world. It ain't easy being no black boy that's queer in this world. Black boys are seeds. And even if you chop a tree, its roots are still there breathing life into soil. Black boys are soil, the purest of foundations. And it is our duty to tell each other this while we still can. Before the dawn comes, before the darkness comes. They say black boys be lost in darkness, but how the hell can we be lost in our own being? This is for the darkness in you, for the light in you. This is for the honest you, for the young in you, for the ancestors in you, for the incomplete you, for the stories locked deep inside of you, for the you sometimes forget to acknowledge, for the failure in you that found the triumph in you, to the you you've been afraid to truly be. This is for the you others wish they could see. This is for you, each and every one of you in all shades. Hey, yo, black boys, this is for us. I should.
I'm arguing with myself. I was going to do a poem, but would it be okay if I did a couple haikus instead? Yeah. Okay. So I want to leave you with some uplifting ones, something to think about, okay? Haiku. It's okay to be scared. Do it anyway. Scared people succeed too. Haiku. If someone says you shine too bright, tell them to take a seat in your shade. Haiku. I don't know, somebody needs to hear this one. I don't know who this one is for. You are not a walking mistake. I want that to settle for a second. You are not a walking mistake. You're an undiscovered miracle. And I'll leave you with this one. Haiku. They thought they broke you, but you're a glow stick. They just exposed your light.
My squad goals, not running toward hoop zones and nets, in front of spectators, speculating their expectations, making money off us in Vegas, placing bets, constantly earning our stripes, bound by these blue balances and checks. Don't follow suit, it's swoosh, and then who's next? Just so they can rebox us, but nah, bro, we got the Under Armour on our chest, plus move like a pack of Pumas, caring less about a sponsor. My squad more like a tribe, and yes, we question authority. Getting on one accord, planning, moving accordingly. From executive body to student board to fraternities and sororities, and take steps. Realizing we can't waste since they take breaths, so we blow in the house down. Making you hit the bricks, then bulldozing that house down. Because this wolf pack wasn't always big and bad. You just built your homes on our habitat. Making our presence apparent. So boy, this ain't no playground, come up off of that. Eurocentric pedestal. American pie held outside in front of us, and we've been waiting to let it cool. But they made a movie about that to let you know they some cool. Basically, it's effed up like it's doing bad in school. We need our mule, plus 40 acres. But you know what's really shocking? 1 acre is 12 city blocks. That's a lot of Billy Rock.
Here's an anthology. I've been publishing an anthology, a couple of these things. You can hit me afterwards, $20 each. Kim's actually and this poem right here, I'm published here. I wasn't going to do this poem, but I'm going to go ahead and do this because, like, my why, and that encourages with my Kappa brothers as they close out as well. Each of us have something with that. So realizing telling my age is very briefly just the thing of, like, I have one anecdote here, but I remember last year, somebody came up to me in a gas station and, like, you know, are you Mr. Banks, my government name, whoever the case is. She said elementary school, like, she's out now. So, like, you know, or like, you know, late 20s. So it's like, the way I was, and she said that she was bad, but it's like, you know, when I worked at that school, there was a genie there. So I'm just saying that you never know the impression you have. I spent half the first week of school in court, I realized my why. Christmas Day 2018, on the venture I was assaulted. Most people couldn't care any less I was insulted, but instead of elementary, the boy was 19. I can't say there was missteps of any in my upbringing, but here's the part that I can play. Oftentimes, many can mistake strength for weakness. My meekness shows caring at all times. The divine will give me the unction to strive to be the conjunction wherever there's a disconnect. My effect, I may never know, but the rare glow I get when I know I affected a young person positively. So kids encountered me from the time they were the height of my knee and came back to me in a Walmart 15 years later, saying, Mr. Banks. They just wanted to thank me for the brief time I was their educator. And the reward of someone remembering me means we're both the great for my why. For young men, black and brown, sometimes society doesn't realize how much society frowns on males their hue. Not knowing what to do, the things that they do for attention are sometimes unmentionable. The placement in special ed is sometimes justified, but in any placement one can learn. The desire to live your best life has to burn, so in hopes of not going back and forth as in the song, building the resilience to achieve that is lifelong, and that is my why. I'm that guy who was in special ed back in pre-K. I didn't have it made, but I became the magnificent, as my mama prayed, and to this day she advocates. She fought for me to get the best to ignite my greatness. My special needs went to exceeding teachers' expectations. I'm a talented and gifted creation. My mother advocated for my mind to be stimulated. Many young people, my hue, don't see a man in the classroom. No struggle, no progress. So as they know struggle, they will know progress. I will be the Frederick Douglass, abolishing excuses and speaking to their greatness so they know that that someone believes that they can achieve and someone cares. Even years later, I'm thankful that they're aware. When I see students who are now parents fighting the good fight, remembering me as I guard their building as they sleep at night. My why. When former students who are now service providers, whether retwisting my locks or in my lift ride, they're striving for higher. It's always clear that Mr. Banks is here for them and is their cheerleader no matter what, that I want them to win. My main reason why is that they have it within, and to win doesn't have to be at another's expense. I don't want any young person to catch an offense. This life has taught me never to give up. And on any young person, I will never give up. My struggles yield progress. I'll help them through struggles so they'll get to progress. The spit that was put on me, the good book said they are blind man sees. So my why, I know for some young person to learn that I am that guy. Thank you so much.
All right, that brings us to the conclusion of our program. DJ, do you have the video ready? Don't play it now. All right. I just wanted to let you know, I am so full. I came to the Black Student Union and to different people across campus and said I have an idea. And you all have shown up for me and for Adam to make this happen for you. I asked for one thing, and it was for students to show up. Because if we don't show up for ourselves, then why should anybody else? And so I thank you for showing up for yourselves tonight. We have so many more things to do, and I am hungry, and I hope we can create that meal for you so you can get hungry too. And we will do this, and we will be an example of how it is that we can come together and expand our culture and share our culture with the University of Pikeville, because they want to see you, they want to hear you, and they value you. So I'm going to close out this event by saying thank you to our poets. Thank you to Ms. Kim for stepping in. And all of the mic drops that we had tonight from our poets, I appreciate you. And to our men of Kappa Alpha Psi, thank you for showing up. The wisdom, the knowledge that you have dropped on these young people is it's amazing. And I did not realize that your board of trustee member was so crazy. Funny guy. So we're going to end with this video. And I had originally I found a video that I thought would really help the attendees understand Black Greek life. But this young man sent me something. He sent me a video, and it touched my heart. And I don't know, Cam, do you want to tell a little bit about the video? He doesn't want to tell anything about it, but I think the video speaks for itself. So we got rid of that other video, and I thought it would be befitting to showcase the talent that we have that's among us, and there's so much more talent that we need to pull out, and you all need to speak up. So,
after the video, can everybody come up like to the stage so we get to get like one group picture? All right, after the video. All right.
Okay.
Never learned to read, but on fields we elite. Can we get the that love that you show us on the screen. If I take a knee, then why can't you see? I just want to be shown that same empathy. I hear it in your voice when we talk about the towers. Then I bring up Floyd and just drowned out with laughter. Sometimes in my dreams I have visions of a hearse. When I'm not playing ball, I only sing a verse. We just want the two so we can eat up like dessert. Show all our ancestors we down to make it work. Work much more than the brand on the shirt. Proud to be black, I'll show no remorse. This was for us. We came out the mud. This was for us. We just want some love. Now that I got your attention, let me speak. I'm tired of my life being real like track meets. Do we mean something that ball ain't in a scheme? Is it safe to tell my brothers to dream? Doctors, lawyers, surgeons, the way to get the green. Can the system love us and show us what it means? Football saved my life at the age of 17, but it's just a bridge on what I'm destined to be. I came up from the bottom, man, yeah, I'm on the mission. Feed all my dogs, give my mama what she missing. And now we don't have to get jury decisions. Look what it's come to, look at how we living. Riots on the street, stress on the teams. Madmen run the world while they feel my greed. Most father figures in commissary. Young black men grew up through a TV. So this one's for us, we came out the mud. This one's for us, we just want some love. This one's for us, we came out the mud. This one's for us, we just want some love. Save me. Won't you just, can you come? Save me. Father, can you hear me? On my knees today, I pray, can you come save me? Take away my pain. Won't you just, can you come? Save me, save me. Won't you just, can you come? Won't you run? On my knees I pray, protect my brothers through the storm. Protect my mother from harm. Won't you just, can you come? Save me, save me, save me, save me. Can you come? Can you save me?
Much love. Thank you.
Can everybody come up to the stage and so we can get this quick picture and then everybody could talk to the poets and or dip out.